Okay, picture this. It's 9 a.m., your kitchen table. Is it even a kitchen table anymore? Yeah. Or is it like part math zone, part art studio, maybe part epic Lego battlefield happening on the floor? That moment, right? Yeah. Where your plans meet real life, sometimes chaos. That's homeschooling for so many families. Yeah. It's this constant balancing act.
Yeah.
Today, in this deep dive, that's exactly what we want to explore. How do you actually master that balance? We've looked at research, talked to families, especially those maybe coordinating with online teachers, different countries, different time zones.
Right.
We want to uncover strategies to create a space where, structure and curiosity can both thrive. It's not about copying school. It's about building something unique for you.
It's exactly that. It's like walking a tightrope every day, isn't it? That's kind of what we mean by the high wire act.
Yeah.
Finding that equilibrium, that sweet spot, it often feels like a daily tug of war. And like you said, it's universal. It doesn't matter if you're doing it all yourself, or maybe you're juggling online classes with a teacher, say back in India or Pakistan. The time difference alone adds a whole other layer, right? Balancing structure with life, it's key to avoid just burning out.
Okay, so let's unpack that tug of war because it feels pretty important. On one side, you've got the risk of, too much structure, too rigid. We've seen this come up a lot. Some people call it the planner's dilemma.
Yeah.
Where families try to map out the day hour by hour, like a school schedule.
Right, trying to replicate it.
Exactly. And suddenly you're juggling multiple kids, different lessons. Maybe that online teacher needs something specific at a certain time, plus just running the house. It gets overwhelming fast.
Oh, absolutely. And that rigidity, that need to stick to the plan no matter what, it often leads straight to what we've seen called the burnout risk. When you're constantly tracking minutes, grading everything, forcing learning into these neat little boxes, it drains the energy for everyone, parent and child.
I can see that.
Learning stops being exciting, It feels like a chore. And that pressure is even higher if you have those external expectations, like from an online program or a teacher abroad who has their own set way, their own schedule. It might just not fit your family's flow.
Totally. Okay, but then you swing the other way, right, the other end of the rope. Too little direction.
The flip side.
Yeah, what we started calling the ephemeral curriculum. It sounds lovely, very flexible, but, if there aren't any clear boundaries between, say, learning time and playtime, focus just goes out the window.
It drifts, yeah.
You want that freedom, but without any anchors, it's actually really hard to feel like you're making steady progress on, the basics. It's a trap lots of people fall into when they aim for total spontaneity.
And what's really interesting when you look at the big picture is that both ends of the spectrum, the super rigid planner and the completely unscheduled approach. Yeah. Well, they're usually coming from a good place, right? Trying to do the best thing. But either extreme can end up hindering the very and honestly the connection that we're all aiming for in homeschooling. So many families, particularly those maybe blending different educational styles or managing that remote learning piece, they live in this push-pull constantly, just trying to find solid ground. It's a real struggle.
So, okay, knowing this,
yeah,
what does it actually mean for you listening? Why put in the effort to find this balance? It sounds hard, but is the payoff worth it?
Oh, it really is. The benefits are huge, and they came up again and again in what we looked at. First off, routines. Even flexible ones, they create this real sense of security for kids.
Security, okay.
Yeah. They thrive when they generally know what to expect, when school time is likely to happen. It gives them rhythm, and that's super important. If you are coordinating with someone in a different time zone, it creates an anchor in their day.
That makes sense.
Second, and this might sound a bit backwards, but good planning, efficient planning, it actually frees up creativity.
How so?
Well, once the basic structure is handled, you're not constantly scrambling. It frees up mental energy, actual time for the fun stuff, the hands-on projects, the sudden museum trip, diving deep into whatever they're obsessed with this week.
Yeah.
It creates space for wonder.
We heard that echoed so much, like Maya, she runs a little co-op, and she told us, we realized our kids needed both, a plan and room to dream. She said once they scheduled the basics, everyone just felt calmer, less stressed. And her son, Eli, he's 12, he said, Fridays are my favorite. We finish math early so we can build robots or just read whatever.
Exactly. Those are the moments, right? That genuine engagement, that's the goal.
That's what you want.
Absolutely. And that connects to the third big benefit. Clear boundaries actually help you reach your goals.
Yeah.
When you define blocks of time, maybe for core subjects, creative stuff, free exploration, you can move through the day feeling confident. You know the important things are getting covered, whether that's your own goals or requirements from, say, an online curriculum provider overseas. But you're also making sure there's space for those individual sparks, the things that make learning feel alive for your kids. It's progress without crushing the joy.
Okay, this sounds fantastic. Like the ideal scenario.
Yeah.
But the big question, how do we actually do this day to day? Especially if you've got, requirements coming from a teacher halfway across the world. How do you make it work practically?
Yeah, let's get practical. Some concrete tips really stood out. First, start with the core subjects, like really nail those down first.
Reading, writing, math.
Exactly. Prioritize those before you start layering in all the extras. That gives you a solid foundation and anchor for the schedule. It's your non-negotiable bedrock.
Okay, core first. Got it.
Second, think about blocking out school time, not just listing endless tasks.
So like 9 to 11 is learning time, not do pages 10, 15, then worksheet B.
Precisely. Instead of a huge to-do list, you have defined windows. What happens inside that window can be flexible. Maybe Monday's math block is review games, Tuesdays is a new concept with the online teacher, Wednesday is practice. But the time is protected.
I like that. Less pressure on ticking boxes.
Right. And third, be intentional about building in time for exploration and flexibility. Actually schedule it.
Schedule spontaneity. Seems odd.
It does sound odd, but it works. Reserve time for project days, field trips, library runs, or just time to follow rabbit trails when your child gets fascinated by something unexpected. This makes sure creativity isn't an afterthought. Squeezed in if there's time. It's part of the plan.
Okay, that makes sense. And we have so many tools now, right, to help manage this, especially with the remote learning aspect.
Right.
Things like digital planners, shared calendars, even just simple checklists. They can keep the week on track without making you feel like a micromanager.
Mm-hmm.
And for families coordinating with teachers far away, a shared online calendar, that can be a total game changer. It bridges the distance, keeps everyone on the same page about goals and times, even with an 8 or 12-hour difference.
Huge help. And another thing that came up over and over, encourage iteration. Be willing to tweak things.
Meaning don't just set it and forget it.
Exactly. Your schedule isn't carved in stone. Your family changes, kids' interests evolve, maybe the online teacher's approach shifts. You have to revisit your rhythm regularly, see what's working, what's causing friction, and adjust. It's a living process, not a fixed document. That adaptability, probably the most important tool you have.
That's a great point, adaptability.
It really is. Because look, while structure is good, we absolutely need to talk about the flip side. The danger of overscheduling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even good intentions can go wrong.
Exactly. Even a well-meaning, carefully crafted structure can seriously backfire. If every single minute is planned out, you risk, stifling curiosity. There's just no room left for those spontaneous aha moments, those deep dives that kids initiate themselves.
Yeah, the magic gets scheduled out.
It really does. And overscheduling can just turn homeschooling into a grind, a relentless push to get through the list. That impacts everyone's mood, everyone's motivation.
Parent and child again.
Parent and child. And crucially, this came up a lot in family stories. You risk sacrificing the connection. That parent-child relationship, the very reason many families choose this path, can get sidelined in the rush to get everything done. And that's a huge loss. You can't easily get that back.
That's such a critical reminder. It loops back to what we said at the start, doesn't it? The goal isn't to perfectly mimic a traditional school classroom.
Not at all.
Those often have their own rigidities and pressures. The goal here is to build something unique for your family. A learning environment where structure supports curiosity, where they actually work together. Learning should feel vibrant, engaging, not just checking off boxes. It's bigger than that.
Well said.
So, wrapping this up, what really emerged from this deep dive is that homeschooling gives you this incredible freedom, right? But the real success, the lasting kind, seems to come from finding that careful balance.
That high wire act.
Yeah. That sweet spot where you have focused learning and open exploration. The structure should help. It should enrich. It should never, ever smother that natural love of learning kids have.
Precisely. So we'd really encourage you listening to aim for a rhythm that genuinely fits your unique family. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here.
Right.
Stay open to trying things out, to tweaking. What works this term might need adjusting next term, especially as kids grow, or if you're navigating different online learning demands. The perfect schedule. It's not some ideal standard out there. It's the one that nurtures learning and your family's well-being. And that brings up a really important question for you to think about. How do you actually define success in your homeschool? Once you step away from school-based grades and tests, what does a successful, balanced approach truly look like for your family?
Yeah, that's a big one. And remember, you are definitely not alone figuring this out.
Not at all.
When you want to refine things, there are so many resources. Those digital tools we mentioned, shared calendars, online parent forums, huge sources of ideas, and support local homeschool groups or co-ops. These places offer guidance, maybe some accountability, fresh ideas, especially helpful if you're looking for community or tools to manage distance learning setups. There's a lot of support out there if you look for it.
There really is. Maybe just one final thought, something to chew on after you stop listening.
Okay.
Beyond the schedule itself, how might consistently building in that room to dream, that space for unplanned, kid-led discovery, how might that foster not just knowledge right now, but a deep, lifelong, self-directed love of learning, something that goes way beyond these homeschooling years and really shapes who they become? What could that look like for your child?
That's powerful. A really great question to end on. Wow. We've really covered a lot today, unpacking this high-wire act of homeschooling, from that tug-of-war feeling to some really practical tips for finding your family's own rhythm. So we really encourage you to take a moment, reflect on your own approach. Structure versus spontaneity. What tiny shift might make a big difference for you and your kids. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope you feel a little more equipped, maybe inspired, to keep crafting that amazing balanced learning journey for your family.